Hey fellas, so earlier today I saw Godzilla Cross Kong, the New Empire, the sequel to the 2021 hit Godzilla vs. Kong, and the latest installment overall of the Toho Monsterverse, and I rather enjoyed it. Granted, it may not have reinvented the wheel or anything, but certainly rolled it in some interesting places, and Director Adam Wingard, as well as many but not all of the cast members of the previous movie, have returned to give us another dose of a monster versus monster slugfest that definitely shows appreciation for the Showa era of the source material, so here we go. The movie picks up roughly where the events Godzilla vs. Kong leave off, where due to the rising threat of the Scar King and his underling Shimo, oh, Godzilla rises from the sea and Kong ventures deep into the whole earth in order to combat these threats. And even though the human characters hers are relatable enough, personally, in terms of both the existing ones coming from the last movie and also new ones I rather like, with Dan Stevens' character, a Titan veterinarian named Trapper, her being a standout. It's the monsters very much center stage once again, and where and they actually like how it manages to more or less build on ideas that they not only established in previous movies in this round of the franchise, but also the source material. I mean, Vanguard in particular hated Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which is something they call classic among fans of the franchise, as a main inspiration, the style and tone of this movie. I can definitely see it. It's, I mean, where there's definitely a method to the madness, much as there was in all those pretty trippy ones in the 70s, is where there's some pretty creative use of the material as well. I mean, remixing a lot of ideas. I mean, like giving, like, I'm not gonna say how Godzilla gets the pink atomic breath, or but I will say that the power gauntlet that Kong gets to aid in his fight against the Scar King for his Project Powerhouse is definitely a really enjoyable. I mean, it's not many characters I've seen Dan Stevens play that install this experimental prototype while listening to Kiss, but still. And as you can imagine, the music is also really good in this. I mean, we have Tom Holkenborg adding to his vast array of cinematic credits as a composer. Er, the the music includes songs such as Liverboy's Turn Me Loose, Golden Earrings Twilight Zone, and Wolfmother's Vagabond, name a few. I mean, who? And even some other ones I'm not as familiar with, including I Gotcha by someone called Greenflow. And that's when a scene of him, of Trapper cleaning and fixing Kong's teeth. I mean, it definitely is that kind of movie where they're a Hawaiian shirt wearing, freewheeling, rock and rolling kaiju that is one of the major characters. I don't know for sure if he was based on Trapper John from MASH or Trapper John from Trapper John MD, but it would not surprise me if he was at all. I may not have been the biggest fan of Adam Wingard's work as a horror director, at least based on the horror films I've seen him make. I mean, I have not seen all of them yet, but I will say that he's got a lot on tap potential as an action director. He expressed interest in making a third one to close out the trilogy, and I'm very much in favor of that, given how it's clear that he's showing his love of material. It's managing to recreate a lot of the absurdity of those movies, albeit on a much larger budget. I mean, granted, it's actually the most modest of the Monsterverse films thus far, at only $185 million. Still bigger than the recent Godzilla Minus One, but it certainly doesn't look that way. Hey, if you actually see this movie, I mean, especially if you're going to see this in IMAX, I mean, and the script, which was co-written by three screenwriters, including Pirates of the Caribbean scribe Terry Rossio, who is related to someone I went to high school with. I mean, believe it or not, is actually very much aware of how bizarre the whole idea is, especially when it turns everywhere from Italy to Brazil into massive monster playgrounds. I mean, I would just deal with this supposed reboot of the POTC as it comes. I just hope that they still have like the dog with the keys. He's a Disneyland ride, personally. Blinking ahead himself here. And whether it's building upon existing monsters like Godzilla and Kong, or introducing relatively new ones to the canon, such as the very small but adorable Osuko, oh, I can very much say that I'm in favor of the Monsterverse continuing, and as it has over the last 10 years or so, as cinematic universe. I mean, it's actually been one of the more successful experiments of the many ones I've tried to who cash in on the success of Marvel's work or over the last 15 plus years. There's whereas many others did not even make it past the first installments. I definitely have something in mind for when I talk about the Dark Universe, and with that in mind, I'm not going to be doing coming attractions this time around, since nothing will stood out at me this time. At least nothing I'd be able to only talk about uh, this week, and being since I'm probably going to spend a bit more time covering stuff at home. I really want to at least get one more Journey's vlog out so I can get the ball rolling on the rest of the season. And even though this may not be my favorite Monsterverse film by any means, I definitely say that much like the last movie, it's a fun hour and 55 minutes, and sometimes it's just simple things in life you treasure. And those things often include like giant monsters pummeling each other. They're like some of those games used to play in the 2000s. One last thing. I definitely intend to talk about Godzilla Minus One when it comes out on digital or whichever platform it streams on. I especially have been eager to do so ever since it won Best Visual Effects. And especially given how seeing all these anecdotes about how both Wingard and the director Minus One being fans of this work, it just shows how much of an impact these monsters have left in our lives. I mean, this year actually commemorates the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. How about that? So this is definitely a very effective time to put this movie out in. Anyway, so my final rating is a solid 3 stars out of 4 and 4 stars out of 5. So anyway, that'll be all for now. So all again soon. Take care, everyone. Mm-hmm.